Prohibition of using gold and silver as vessels in Islam. In Islam, the use of gold and silver vessels for eating and drinking is explicitly prohibited. This ruling is based on various hadiths, sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and is intended to promote modesty, humility, and social equity among Muslims. Here's a detailed explanation of this prohibition and the wisdom behind it. Basis for the prohibition. The prohibition is well documented in the hadith literature. One of the most cited hadiths on this matter is, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Do not drink from silver or gold vessels and do not eat from plates of them, for indeed they are for them, disbelievers in this world, and for you in the hereafter." Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. Reasons behind the prohibition. Promoting humility and modesty. Islam emphasizes humility and modesty as key virtues. Using gold and silver vessels can lead to ostentation and pride, which are contrary to Islamic teachings. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself, led a simple and modest life, setting an example for his followers to avoid extravagance. Preventing social inequity. Gold and silver are precious metals that signify wealth and luxury. Their use in everyday items like eating and drinking vessels can create a divide between the rich and the poor. By prohibiting such displays of wealth, Islam aims to promote social equity and discourage materialism. Avoiding extravagance and waste. Islam encourages its followers to be moderate and avoid extravagance. Spending excessively on gold and silver utensils is seen as wasteful and contrary to the principles of moderation and stewardship of resources. The Quran states, "Indeed, the wasteful are brothers of the devils, and ever has Satan been to his Lord ungrateful." Surah Al-Isra, 17:27. Fostering contentment and gratitude. Using simple and modest utensils helps foster a sense of contentment and gratitude for what one has. It shifts focus from material wealth to spiritual and moral wealth. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught contentment as a form of wealth, saying, "Richness is not having many belongings, but richness is contentment of the soul." Sahih al-Bukhari, Exceptions and Clarifications. Jewelry and ornamentation. While the use of gold and silver as eating and drinking vessels is prohibited, the use of these metals in jewelry and ornamentation is generally permissible for women. However, men are prohibited from wearing gold jewelry, but can wear silver rings. Utensils and decorative items. The prohibition specifically applies to items used for eating and drinking. Using gold and silver in other forms, such as decorative items or utensils not related to consumption, is a matter of scholarly debate, with many scholars advising caution to avoid extravagance. Practical applications. Choosing alternative materials. Muslims are encouraged to use alternative materials for their utensils, such as stainless steel, glass, ceramics, or other non-precious metals. These materials are durable, functional, and do not carry the same implications of wealth and extravagance. Leading by example. Following the example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Muslims are encouraged to lead a life of simplicity and modesty. By avoiding the use of gold and silver vessels, they set a positive example for others in their community. Community awareness. Educating the community about the wisdom behind this prohibition helps foster a collective understanding and commitment to Islamic values. It reinforces the principles of humility, modesty, and social equity.